Here's the former Sooner, Austin Seibert, to get this one started. And off we go from Cleveland. This fielded at the 2. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. The former national champion at Clemson bringing him onto the field, and that's the signal caller, Deshaun Watson. Now a first carry for Lamar Miller. Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's second down. So here are the starters for this offensive unit. Lamar Miller, very good out of the backfield.
And getting better all the time. The more touches he gets in a game, the bigger his impact on it.
From the 27, Watson, the catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Miller. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy's setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
And this time not as successful, as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Olivier Vernon brings him down. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. They'll try the air now with Watson. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and losing yardage. And
he's going to go down again. They were trying to set up that screen, trying to get that screen to formulate. Took too long.
Ends up taking a sack, and that leads you to a couple of other questions. Number one, why don't you just get rid of the football near the screen guy so that you don't take an interception? But really, the big one, they just took everything away, and he was really kind of flummoxed on that play and ended up taking the sack.
So here come the Browns for their first drive on offense. Orchestrating the offense will be the top pick in the 2018 draft, and that's Baker Mayfield. Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at the 20. Play fake. Mayfield. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. That's called setting the tone right away.
It certainly is, and it lets you know just how important communication is amongst the offensive line. They talk about it all the time, knowing each other's moves. You've got to be coordinated and in sync. Otherwise, your quarterback gets hit.
And a short pickup here as he'll get across the 10 to the 11-yard line. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on 3rd down.
40, 20. Oh, you got deep? Check 50, check 50.
To throw, Mayfield. They set up the screen to Chubb. Well contained there defensively. The screen gets only a yard, and it's 4th.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood where the 3rd down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up 4th down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3 and out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football and got to him and made sure they didn't give up much run after catch.
And now out comes Houston. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans. That's his longest run of the first quarter. And, Charles, we talked before the game about them needing to establish the run game. They'll be looking for more of that.
And they got to the perimeter. So that tells me that that's part of the game plan of what they want to get done today. So they'll have some complimentary runs where he'll run it to the inside. But it appears that when they want the big yardage, they think they can get to the outside and make it happen.
Second and 10 now from the 27. Throwing again is Watson. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. Texans football to start quarter 2 as they've got it with a 3rd down and long coming up. No score after 1 on EA Sports. Following the sack, it's now 3rd and long for Watson and the Texans. Now it's Watson. Man open, that's Kiki QT complete. And he'll be stopped here well short of the first down at the 24-yard line. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on 4th.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
The kick by Fairbairn is good. And it's now 3-0 Texans. Been a bit of a dogfight thus far into the second quarter now, and we do have our first point. It's a field goal.
Yeah, a lot of people say, wow, first action on the scoreboard, about time. To me, the action's been right there on the field, trying to figure out who could gain an advantage, gain some field position, finally get points on the board. I'm loving this kind of game.
And feels like kickers might play a big role in this one.
Yes, make sure you give them the respect they deserve. They could cost you a game or win you one.
Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
So after the incompletion on first... Now 2nd and 10. Mayfield hands it off to Chubb. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Flush to his right. Well, the 2 men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down.
Appeared to me he was just trying to find an open receiver and got forced out to his right. Had to come off of a guy downfield trying to hit his back. Unable to connect. Should have been an easier throw moving to his right, though.
Yeah, much easier, obviously, for a right-handed quarterback. If he was going to his left, a little bit tougher.
Exactly.
Here's Jamie Gillen now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. Here's Jamie Gillen now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And how about this, a fake? And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off. They fake the punt. It doesn't work out, and the Texans take over an excellent field position.
Anytime a fake doesn't work, we usually focus our attention on the guys that were unsuccessful. But how about the defensive guys? They have to plan all week. They have to prepare all week. Special teams, it looked like they were educated for that one.
Educated on their toes and getting a big stop. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4. On 2nd down and 4, Watson buying time to his left. Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it, and I think the Browns got it. They did. He was back there forever. You got to get rid of the football there.
I mean, the amount of time he had was probably double what you normally have to throw the football, and he doesn't find anyone, so you're exactly right. He's got to get rid of it. But the next question I would have is, what were the receivers doing? In that amount of time, someone's got to find their way open.
Is a normal time 3.5 seconds to get rid of it?
Somewhere in that neighborhood, and they really doubled that. That's not supposed to happen where he still has the football, and he ends up losing it.
14 yards, and it's a Cleveland 1st down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
They run again on 1st down, Chubb. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Check 41.
On 2nd and 11 now. Mayfield. Got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a 1st? For an offense that has not found the end zone yet, that's a big play.
There's the spark right there. The big play that they needed. Now they've got to go ahead and finish this drive and put this ball in the end zone.
On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. 2nd quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Jonathan Coachman. Coach will have highlights and analysis of this 1st half, one that's featured no touchdowns as of yet on either side.
So his job's a little bit easier for this halftime.
Need to give the coach some highlights here.
Yes, we do.
They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. Leaves them with 3rd and just a yard. They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And he gets the 1st down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
On third down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. And he's brought down. It's a good gain of 11. Sets him up 1st and goal. They held him in check in the first half, but that's his longest carry of the game right there.
So would this be the definition of fresh legs since he didn't get much done in the first half? Now he has a great opportunity. He's taking full advantage of it.
So it's 1st and goal and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break.
Mike 41. We've got a wedge now, huh? Ricky.
Mayfield going to take it on the sneak. Try to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain there as he kept it himself at 2nd down.
Check.
They'll give it to Chubb, and he's in. Touchdown, Browns. Nick Chubb, as the first half is winding down, and the Browns have taken the lead.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Are you looking forward?
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on 1st down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
He finds Hopkins complete. The 20. Touchdown, Houston. DeAndre Hopkins in the final seconds of the first half. And the Texans have retaken the lead. They erased that deficit pretty quickly, did they not? A 2-play drive.
What do we call that? Short-lived?
Very.
Very short-lived. 2 plays later, they're in the end zone and back out in front. We always talk about drives, don't we? Does 2 plays count as a drive?
Not really, but that second play was so good. I don't care what we call it. It was enjoyable to watch. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Cleveland offense ready to go. Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people look at it and go, well, maybe you take a shot here. Maybe you get some momentum going into the half. What's the flip side of that? You do something crazy, quarterback gets hit, ball comes free, and now you're down an even bigger margin. Go ahead and take this one, go to the locker room, start over.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much.
There you have it. Halftime quickly over. 3rd quarter, here we go. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this 3rd quarter. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 47. A run for Nick Chubb. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
I'm going to come back to you. I got it.
Mayfield looks to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Set.
You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they were right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. A give. This is Chubb. It's another 10 yards on that one and another first down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Watch left, watch left. Watch left.
And again, it's Chubb. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
They were not fooling around at all, were they? Second and short, and they brought out the heavy package. Almost felt like the super heavy package against that defense, didn't it?
Yeah, I don't think they expected that much beef up front, and it turned into an easy first down conversion. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. And he got a little aggressive too early.
And he did, wanting that quick takeoff as the ball was snapped, but
I think sometimes those big guys on offense,
they're pretty cagey too, right? They make those little sudden moves or those little subtle moves that get you to jump.
Following the penalty, Chubb. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. And just a yard on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 4.
and this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Zach Cunningham gets him for a loss of 5. He is so tough to handle on the blitz, and that's Exhibit A.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye. That happened fast and a big sack.
Let's go one more.
On third down, Mayfield flushed out right. And that will be incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss him? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
So they come away from this opening drive in the third quarter with only 3, but it does draw them even.
Yeah, and that has to be job one, doesn't it? A touchdown definitely would have been nice. We know that. But here, you get back on even terms, and now you've got most of the second half to try and get yourself into a position to win.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So here's the Texans offense now. They get set to start this third quarter. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. Watson will bring up the Texans here 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. The run there on first down, going to get him 5 up to the 30. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Back to throw, Watson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. On the corner blitz that time, the sack goes to Denzel Ward. Following the sack, it's now 3rd and long for Watson and the Texans. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
They went with the dive look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
Here's Brian Anger now as he's on to punt for Houston. It's taken to the 26, and he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. It'll wind up being a net of 41. 9-yard return, 50 on the punt. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. Here comes the Browns offense back onto the field. And they had a long drive last time, but they had to settle for a field goal. And I'm sure that's how it felt to them, settling. They probably should have gotten in the end zone.
Yeah, not out-and-out joy, right? Because that's what you get when you put the ball in the end zone. But there are benefits to that type of a long drive. Your defense gets a chance to take a break, adjust a little bit, maybe get themselves ready to get back out on the field and play a little bit better. So they'll take the benefit even though they wanted the 6 points.
And maybe wore down the other defense. We'll see.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the ball, as we just saw there.
An opening for Chubb on first down as he dashes forward for about 7. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. And we're back now here in Cleveland. Knotted up here at 10. That's our score as we begin quarter number 4. They run it again with Chubb. And an alley to run. And he'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Stop for 3 quarters. No reason to lighten up now. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1. 2nd and goal from the 1. They'll try to run this one in. And he'll barrel his way into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Nick Chubb, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And they are able to break the tie and move out in front here in this 4th quarter. Extra point by Seibert up and good. And that makes it a 17-10 score. A drive that time of 6 plays. And Nick Chubb, the one to finish it off, as he does so with a touchdown run. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Out comes a Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at 2nd down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. Throwing again on 2nd down. Watson, open man is QT, complete. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Houston. Kiki QT, 71 yards. As they can now even this game here in the 4th quarter with the extra point. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The offense trots back out there. Let's turn our focus now to Nick Chubb. He's already hit pay dirt twice. He's up over 100 yards. He is feeling good.
And he's just zipping along today. Everything coming together for him. It's that type of a day that you see a back just kind of have a grin on his face every time his number is called. Because he doesn't feel like there's going to be any lost yardage plays. Nothing but big-time positive runs.
Making the sideline grin as well. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Chubb on the counter. 7 yards there and a first down. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Chubb. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's a gain of 10, and the Browns are going to get a first down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. They go with Chubb on second down. He's got the first down here inside the 30. And he gets this one down to the 24. And this defense here going to burn their second timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Chubb. And he's able to work free for about 6 down to the 18. Now, what's the thinking here? Because a touchdown would be nice, but you've ensured yourself a chance at 3 in the lead, so how worried are you about the 6?
You're not very worried about if you're confident in your kicker. And if you got a kicker who put it through the post, you feel really good about trying to bleed that clock down. In an ideal scenario, your kicker puts it through the post as the clock hits zeros.
So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. Mark that as a gain of 16 to set him up 1st and goal. A game-winning field goal would be a chip shot. And he takes this one in for a Browns score. Nick Chubb taking it in, as his guys have taken the lead here in the final 2 minutes.
Hey, that score deserves our respect, deserves our excitement. But I'm looking at the clock, and I'm thinking, there's a long way to go in this one.
Ideally, they would have liked to milk a little bit more time off. Now, on the other sideline, you start to get the crew together and say, this is what we practiced the 2-minute drill for, right?
Yeah, you hope you've been in that situation before, and if you haven't, you just have the confidence, hey, let's go down there and get this thing done. But, boy, that's a big score right there to give them the advantage.
Watson and the Texans now down 24-17. A minute 36 to go. They need a touchdown to the PAT to tie it as they come up 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Now the pass, and it's into the arms of Hopkins. And he gets all the way down to the 30-yard line. The Clemson connection. Watson to Hopkins for a big one. 53 yards for the catch made by Hopkins. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. Now it's Watson. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Christian Kirksey in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. Well, he was just trying to contain DeAndre Hopkins, and he got a little too close.
And because of his ability to line up in different spots on the field and come at you from different angles, different guys have to cover him, and all of them have the same issue. How do you do it without interfering? In this case, it didn't get done.
A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7, but first things first, they need to score as they come up on 1st and goal. Back to throw. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Will Fuller was the intended target, but it'll be 2nd and goal. They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now. Watson. And his ball is caught. It's a touchdown. And now in the final seconds, they're a PAT away from likely getting this thing to overtime.
Yes, sir, that touchdown puts them in striking distance. And let me tell you something, forget being conservative here. Go for it. Go for 2.
Well, going for it on the road. Want to win it right now.
Want to win it right now. Have the momentum. Go ahead and get it done.
A very important extra point there, up and good. And we may very well be headed to overtime. Nothing separating these two sides. 24 all our score as he sends this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Browns drive about to get started. They have a little bit of time here to get into field goal range. Not much. In a tie game, you don't want to do anything crazy, right?
I agree with you on that one. Risk-reward, okay? If you go for it, what is the absolute reward on this? But the risk is probably greater. Run the clock out, get to overtime, and try and win it there.
All right, we'll see if they do just that. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
3 down, 3 down.
They run. Chubb. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. And we have free football. Overtime. Here we go, my friend. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick 6 or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And now out comes Houston, except for their first drive here in overtime. And this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team. And that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
And it's been loud in here so far. Here's Watson. It's complete to Hopkins. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Watson on target here to Fuller. 20, 10, and he is in for the score. And it is absolute stunned silence here as they win it on the road in overtime. Partner, a great game that we got to see and making it extra special. Not only did I get 4